All right, we're back. No gaming today, no rematch, no blueprints. I just wanted to come in here and just talk to you guys about something real quick. So I was just doing laundry and I came back upstairs and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at my analytics page for my YouTube channel, which I don't really do. I mean, I do check the views, don't get me wrong, I check them pretty often, and subscriber count. But there's a couple of really specific tabs that YouTube gives you access to. And one of those tabs is audience demographics, which I never really took a look at. And I found a couple of really interesting stats. One of them being that no females watch me, only 2% of my viewers are female, which is understandable, of course. Another stat that really piqued my interest was audience geographic demographics. And it does seem like most of my viewers are from the United States and the UK, which is understandable, right? English speaking countries, that's fine. But what really caught my attention was the age demographic. And I'm gonna put it up on screen here. It does seem like about 70-ish% of my viewers are between the ages of 18 and 34, which is very interesting. I don't have any teenagers, I guess you could say, watching me, which is understandable, right? My content isn't really geared towards kids. I'm not trying to pull a Mr. Beast here. So I was sitting around and I was thinking, man, what is it like to be 18 again? And I'm not that old, by the way. I'm 23, so I'm still young, right? Of course, a lot of old heads are probably going to be mad at me for saying what it's like to be young again. What I'm trying to say is, what would I do? How would it feel like if I was 18 going into college? Would I change anything? How would that experience be knowing what I know now? And I just thought, you know what? Why not make a video talking about this? And maybe my viewers, if anyone watches this video, if they are going through college or their senior year of high school, which according to the demographics is a very high probability, maybe they could learn something from what I'm gonna say today. Maybe they can take some advice, although, you know, my life is in shambles, so maybe you shouldn't take my advice. But again, I do feel like knowing what I know now, my life being in shambles, maybe I could give some insight on how you could maybe not end up like me. So here we go. So should you take my advice on what I'm about to say? Probably not. What I will say is that I know what not to do. I cannot tell you what to do. So given that my life is in absolute shambles, I am a software engineering contractor. I probably should have said that at the start of the video just so you know who I am. And I would say that I have made a lot of mistakes throughout my college career that have led me to where I am now. Someone who has a lot of mental issues and is actively looking for a full-time position and cannot find it after 1 year of graduating. Now, you might think that this video is just going to be me telling you, do your homework and study. Well, not necessarily. What I will say is that I finished college with a 3.7 GPA. I also had an internship right after I finished college. So I have all of the prerequisites that all the old heads tell you about that would indicate that I should have a full-time job, a very high-paying job, and I should be on the correct career path right now. However, it does not feel like that at all. Now, why is that? Number one, pick your major. Do not let anyone, and I will say this over and over again, do not, look at me, do not let anyone decide your major for you. They can give you advice, they can nudge you in the correct direction, but do not let anyone choose for you, because it will lead to you building up a bunch, and I mean a bunch of resentment towards the world and whoever pushed you towards that major if things never work out for you, if things don't go as planned, or if they're not as good as you thought. That resentment, even though you might be a good person, even though you might not think that's gonna happen, I promise you that resentment is dangerous and it will build up and it will reach a breaking point and it could cause problems in your life. I know it did for me. people have forced me to study a major that I didn't want to study, and the resentment is still there to this day. To this day, it is still there. I don't let it control me, of course. I don't let it really get to me, but the thoughts are there. The thoughts of, what if I didn't pursue this major? What if I found something that I loved and I pursued that instead? Now, for me, I didn't know what I loved. I didn't know what I liked, and therefore, I was pushed into studying computer science. And do I regret it? I would say yes. Surprise, surprise. People online, all the motivational speakers tell you, I don't have any regrets in my life. They have shaped me into the person I've become today. Bullshit. I regret it. I wish I never did it. So what should you do if you're just out of high school and you don't know what you want to study for your major? I would say take a gap year. I would say go to community college for 2 years, finish all of your GEs, and then start thinking about your major. Don't rush it. You're still young. I am still young. I can still change my life. I'm actively working towards that. Hence this video. Who knows? Maybe this will turn into something I can do in the future. Probably not, but who knows? It's all about expanding your horizons and trying to find something you enjoy, new hobbies, new things you love, and then maybe you can pursue a major that can help you out with that hobby. You can utilize that hobby in your major, whatever it may be. Who knows? You never know. All I'm saying is taking breaks. Don't be stupid. Don't go broke. Don't go homeless. Don't go around partying and ruining your life. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is taking a break and actively trying to find what you want to do is a good first step. Now, let's say you're studying your major. For me, it was computer science, of course. What would I do differently if I were you? I would say number one is look at the job market. That should be the first thing you do, because a lot of the time, the things you learn in college will never, ever be utilized in the workspace. The job market doesn't give a fuck about your linear algebra unless you want to be a math teacher, right? It's true. I don't think I've ever used my skills of linear algebra ever, dude. I studied physics 1, 2, and 3. I never used that shit once in my software engineering job, right? So I'm not saying you should fail your classes. I'm just saying, if you get a B or a C in physics 1, 2, or 3, then it's not the end of the world. If you spend that time doing something else, like for computer science majors, if you spend half of the time you would studying for physics, doing LeetCode or working on your personal projects or actively pursuing a certification, that's better than getting an A+ in physics. That's all I'm gonna say. I graduated with a GPA of 3.7, and not once, and I mean this, not once has an interviewer or a job application gave a fuck about my GPA. No one cares about your goddamn GPA. I got a 3.7 GPA. I put that shit on my resume, on my LinkedIn bio. Hell, I'm gonna say it multiple times in this video because that's the only thing I can flex. It didn't get me shit though. I'm still here. I'm still broke. That's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is it's not the end of the world if your GPA is a little low and you spend that time having fun working on your skills that actually matter in the job market. That's all I'm saying. I regret it, man. I regret it a lot. I remember to this day, physics and linear algebra and statistics. I spent months, probably months. If we talk about pure time and dedication that I put into passing those classes and trying to get an A, I would say it would equate to about a month. Okay, that's just in one semester of me studying and trying to get an A for something that no one cares about, something that I will never use in my life. I forgot half of that information, right? It's just for my GPA. Like, who cares, bro? Again, I will preface and say I am a computer science major. So if you're, I don't know, studying medicine, if you're trying to become a dentist, this probably wouldn't apply to you. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm just saying, look at the job market, bro. I will reiterate this over and over again. Look at the job market, man. Look at what people are asking. Look at what these employers want from you. I wish I did that. I wish I knew that I needed to study the shit out of Python, which is a programming language, because everyone wants you to use that these days in the workspace. No one cares about my Java skills, which I spent 2 years studying. No one gives a fuck. Everyone wants Python. Everyone wants AI. Imagine I spent 4 years of my free time studying AI instead of studying physics or statistics, bro. What else would I say? I would say spend more time with your friends. If they're going out to a party on the weekend and you know for a fact it wouldn't really affect your education or your job if you have a job, I would say go out, man. I would say have fun. Enjoy it. The college life is something that you will never get to experience again until you're probably very old and you want to go get another degree for some reason. I don't know why people do that. But what I'm saying is I regret not going out more. I regret when someone would invite me to a party and I would say no. Either I would have to work or I would have to study. I regret that to this day. I wish I did more. What else do I regret? I regret taking summer classes. I regret that for the 4 years I studied in college, I took summer classes every single summer. And even though it was online and I went back home to my home country in the Middle East and I would actively hang out with my friends, it would be so bloody stressful because I had to study all the time. I would stay up late at night and I would just have to grind it out, man. I took summer classes every single summer. And now knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have done that. I would be late a year, maybe 2. Who cares? We're still young, man. I wish I didn't take summer classes. I wish I spent more time having fun. I really do. Now, you might be watching this and you're thinking, man, this guy is telling me go out and have fun. This shit's gonna be easy. It's not. No. I'm not saying be dumb. I'm saying if you have a job, bring in that money. Focus on that. That's fine. And balance it with studying. Of course. I'm just saying some people, including me, felt like it was the end of the world if they got a C or a B- in a class that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Believe me, most of this shit does not matter at all. So just be smart. Use your brain when you're deciding, making these decisions. Should I go out, have fun? Should I work on a personal project, gain a certification, learn new skills? Should I go to work? Just be smart about it and actively think about how you're spending your time. You only got 4 or 5 years of this shit, okay? Actively think about how you're spending your time. Make a schedule. I wish I used to make schedules, bro. Making schedules is a fantastic way of organizing your time. You feel like you have more time if you have a schedule. I do that right now. I have a schedule for today. Hell, I'm supposed to be doing laundry right now. I actually just went against my own schedule to make this video. With that being said, I think I'm gonna end it here. I feel like I just waffled around for like 15 minutes here, just talking about nothing. Maybe I contradicted myself multiple times throughout this video. I don't know if anyone's gonna find this useful or if you're gonna gain any advice from this. It's just, I feel like this is a video for me as well. Just putting these thoughts out there of what I would do differently. Maybe I'm a bad influence, bro. On that note, I am gonna end it there. Hopefully, you guys maybe learned something. Maybe I gave you some advice here and there, some little wisdom from a 23-year-old. Look at me, I'm 23 and I'm trying to give wisdom. Wow. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a sub if you guys really want to. I am almost at 100 subs, so I'd greatly appreciate it. With that being said, have a good one.